this is the lore of Friday Night Funkin, and as you can see, this is Newgrounds affiliated. And I'll be going over some quick descriptions of the game that I have gotten off of some websites, like official websites. So here's the game overview. Friday Night Funkin is a Newgrounds rhythm game made in Hakes Flixel, originally created for Ludum Dare 47. Programmed by Ninja Muffin 99 with a soundtrack produced by Kawaii Sprite and artwork created by Phantom Arcade and Evil Skater. The game can be played on Newgrounds or played/downloaded for free on itch.io. Now, the short story summary of the game, according to the website, was the plot of the game centers around boyfriend trying to hook up with girlfriend, but her ex-Rockstar father Daddy Dearest doesn't approve of him. It's up to boyfriend to rap battle his way through him and everyone else that stands in his way. Do you think So people are walking in my room. It's up to boyfriend to rap battle his way through him and anyone else that stands in his way, so that he can finally get freaky. Do you think you got what it takes? Now here is more quick notes. The abbreviations you should know when I read this to you are as follows: BF for boyfriend, GF for girlfriend, DD for daddy dearest, and MM for mommy dearest. I abbreviated to save space in the slideshow. The story is a bit slow at first, but following week 4 it picks up a bit. If I leave out details you know of, it may be because I'm trying to fit it all into one slide. Characters you see here may have been mentioned or referenced in the story of mods like Versus Cheeky, Versus VTan, Versus Bob, and a lot of others. Another note, thank you Kawa for helping me make this. I really appreciate you taking the time to help write some of these down for me to save time and make sure it looks good. My last thing to note is that the slides go in week 1, 3, 4, 2, and 5, and 6, and then 7. Now the beginning is weird, but we have it lined this way because we're going through the timeline chronologically. Although week 2 was released after week 1, it is later than the story, despite being made before week 3 and week 4. This is all. I hope you enjoy the panel. Week 1. Versus Daddy Dearest. Boyfriend, after falling in love with girlfriend, is intercepted by Daddy Dearest, girlfriend's father, and now boyfriend has to rap battle him to win her over. After battling the demon ex-Rockstar, boyfriend emerges victorious and is quote-unquote accepted by him to date girlfriend. Though Mr. Dearest isn't ready to give up yet, as the later weeks show his determination to break the couple apart. Week 3. Versus Pico from Pico's school. Unable to accept defeat, Daddy Dearest hires a mercenary named Pico. You may have heard of him from the early 2000s Flash game called Pico's School. Pico tracks down boyfriend and girlfriend. He sees boyfriend and recognizes him from his school years. This prompts Pico to spare boyfriend after still challenging him to a rap battle. Boyfriend wins the rap battle and him and girlfriend go on their way, though Mommy Dearest and Daddy Dearest aren't impressed with Pico in the slightest. And this is a pretty interesting character because the person that made Pico's school was quite interested seeing his original character incorporated, but he was incorporated to this game because Friday Night Funkin is has very close ties to the creators have very close ties to Newgrounds, and Pico being one of the famous mascots of Newgrounds, they of course they wanted to add him in and give him a good spot in the story. Week 4 versus Mommy Dearest. After Pico's failure to eliminate, it brings us to week 4. Mommy Dearest, a pop singer who still follows her singing career, like as of currently. She challenges boyfriend to a rap battle on her moving limo with her henchmen as her backup dancers. After this crushing defeat, boyfriend was finally accepted into the family. Later, more tricks were pulled to continue splitting the couple apart. So yeah, they were dancing on this moving vehicle, and throughout the songs, they get faster and faster, and her final song, MILF, is actually one of the hardest Friday Night Funkin' songs in the base game. Though nowadays a lot of people can complete it, since a lot of people that originally first played this game have grown a lot with rhythm gaming. And I hope I'm not cutting out. Week 2. Versus Skid and Pump from Spooky Month by Senor Pello. After getting accepted into the family, girlfriend and boyfriend were invited to one of Daddy Dearest's and Mommy Nearest's houses, or as a mansion, to give out candy to trick-or-treaters. Later on, Monster, a mysterious lemon-headed figure in black clothes, convinced Skid and Pump, two unintelligent kids, to go retrieve girlfriend for him, saying she was a treat for them to get. In the last song, Monster comes in and sings off with boyfriend after failing to win the rap battle. The couple lives and leaves. Now, I never actually included pictures of Monster because I guess I like the mystique, like the mysteriousness about him. Like you'd have to find him yourself if you want to like see him. But yeah, these characters, Skid and Pump, the original creators wanted to include Skid and Pump since they were big fans of Spooky Month, you know, because like they liked watching Senor Pell. Some of you guys might have watched some of his stuff. And when wanting to incorporate these characters into the game, Senor Pell was like all for it. Like he provided the voices for Skid and Pump, and even the first song was actually like the first, like actually no, but both of these songs were kind of descriptions off of what Senor Pello thought would be good songs for them. So Senor Pello had like pretty much most of the control over this week since it was his characters, and he really wanted to see it incorporated. Um, we're now moving on to week 5. Uh, yeah, you can see a lot of Newgrounds characters in the background here. Um, and versus Mommy Dearest and Daddy Dearest, and also Monster in that song. During a nighttime mall stroll, boyfriend and girlfriend were caught off guard when Mommy Dearest and Daddy Dearest were found holding the mall Santa hostage. Boyfriend was challenged again, but this time in a duo of Mommy Dearest and Daddy Dearest, as they take turns singing against boyfriend throughout the songs. Despite their efforts, boyfriend comes out successful. Strangely, the mall turns dark and abandoned. The snow goes red and the Christmas tree is covered in intestines and guts instead of Christmas lights. The monster showed up again trying to devour girlfriend, but after a long battle, boyfriend stands firm and they are safe again. Now this is weird because you can kind of see the plot of the monster kind of develop as he just wants to kill girlfriend, but boyfriend's just always standing in the way. And I guess it would have been interesting, you know, what would have happened if boyfriend was never there. But and how he managed to like make the mall went from like this happy cool place to like some very dark and abandoned place that was just covered in blood. And also it was cool because this was the first time, this is for the Christmas update, this was the first time Friday Night Funkin song had two people like duetting. Like it would go from one turn to another person, or even change turns in the same song before it gets to, you know, the player's turn to hit notes. And also everyone was given special Christmas outfits. Week 6 versus Senpai, or Hating Simulator. Girlfriend and boyfriend are playing games up in her room when all of a sudden Daddy Dearest sends them directly into the video game. Boyfriend soon finds himself challenged by the game's main character, Senpai. Senpai competes for girlfriend's love as he battles BF, but Senpai is programmed to be loved and never lose, causing him to break down after losing the first 2 songs. He transforms into Spirit, who comes out at Senpai's most vulnerable stage. This creature is one of the many victims of Daddy Dearest, as Spirit is his girlfriend's ex. Spirit plotted to use boyfriend's body to sneak up to the overworld. He promptly loses, keeping boyfriend and girlfriend safe from him as they leave the game. Week 7 versus Tankman from Newgrounds. Sometime soon, Mommy Dearest and Daddy Dearest invite girlfriend and boyfriend to a vacation somewhere. Pico followed, but in secret, as this was a mission to get BF killed, and Pico had to confirm his death. Their plane crashes, causing them to drop into the middle of a war zone, and they get captured by Tankman and his army. Tankman and his men have had a boring day, so they challenge boyfriend to a rap battle to alleviate their boredom, because fighting all day is pretty boring. Tankman loses twice, getting humiliated, and orders for an open fire on girlfriend, which is a pretty shitty thing to do. Right as they're about to shoot, Pico steps in, not wanting to just see his friend get killed, so he knocks girlfriend into boyfriend's arms, and he stays on the speaker, shooting tankmen that come by. Boyfriend has to rap with girlfriend in his arms, whilst Pico takes on Tankman's army. After the last song, the trio escapes alive, although Daddy Dearest and Mommy Dearest are even more upset with Pico getting him into worse trouble. What was interesting about this week was you actually, I guess, see that Pico isn't as bad as a character, despite, I guess, like his PTSD with, some bad topics I won't talk about. And, see, he comes in and saves a boyfriend and girlfriend, as you can see over here, and while you're in the game, boyfriend actually does sing with girlfriend in his arms, although there is no duet. This was a cool week, though, because it was the first week where instead of using dialogue boxes to show, like, the story, there was cutscenes, like Tankman was actually talking. Now let me go back a bit. See, in Hating Simulator, this was the first week to use text boxes. Like all the other weeks I showed before, it was just song after song, there was no text box. But this was the first week that showed that there was actually, like, a story being built. But in here, there was actual dialogue, and Tankman was roasting pretty much the player. If you actually failed a song in any of the songs for this week, Tankman would roast you, again, calling you bad at the game. Future weeks said to be added. It is said that the team behind Friday Night Funkin' will plan to add more weeks with the reoccurring and new characters. Here are some of them based off of the wiki. There's Week 8 planned to be chronologically before Week 7, where boyfriend and girlfriend are on the plane. And yeah, basically they're just singing off on the plane, while Pico should be somewhere like in the background, kind of in secret since he's not supposed to be spotted. The characters that are planned to reoccur are Daddy Dearest and Pico, like that we know for sure, like those two will come up in future weeks. And the new characters to be added are Ritz the Rat, is from a separate game made by the people who made Friday Night Funkin', and according to the wiki, he's canonically Boyfriend's adopted brother. Hank J. Wimbledon, who is the protagonist of Madness Combat, a early 2000s Flash series a lot of people are big fans of. It's a great series. And Cassette Girl, a musical mascot by Soft Dawn in 2018. I don't know much about her, but she seemed pretty cool. And the last one was Cassandra, the antagonist from Pico's school, Pico's, I guess, nemesis, or whatever. Before I get to the Q&A, we're going to do frequently asked questions. What is Friday Night Funkin'? Friday Night Funkin' is a rhythm-based indie game where you play as boyfriend and try to impress your girlfriend's ex-rock star dad and mother with a rhythm battle. Is this free on PC? Yes, Friday Night Funkin' is a free-to-play game. Ninja Muffin, the developer of FNF, has uploaded the game onto itch.io. Where to play Friday Night Funkin'? Friday Night Funkin' is available to download on itch.io, where is the best indie game platform. You can also play Friday Night Funkin' on your browser without downloading the game on the Friday Night Funkin' page on itch.io. Will FNF be on console? Unfortunately, it is not possible to play Friday Night Funkin' on platforms other than PC. Well, you may ask, will Friday Night Funkin' be on console? There is no announcement yet whether Friday Night Funkin' will be released for the console. Are Friday Night Funkin' songs on Spotify? Kawaii Sprite thought that the songs in FNF would be so popular he collected all the songs under one album and released them on online music platforms. This was the FAQ, and now here is the questions and answers. Here's the questions and answers portion. Feel free to ask what you want if you want to know more or are confused on something. I'll go back to previous slides if you want to reread something, read because you missed it, etc.
Alright, let's just check and see if we've got anything in for us. Thank you for that presentation, it was wonderful. I know more about that game than knowing that there are mods available for it now.
Alright. Oh, you didn't know about the mods?
I knew about the mods, it's all I knew about the game.
Well,
I didn't know there was actual story.
Oh, no, I wanted to upload the base game to the FV channel, but I felt like, I don't know, is that I couldn't really edit it with my style because, I just feel like I didn't feel like it would fit because there's no, like, dialogue until, like, week 6, so you don't really get to see a story being built, and also, throughout the game, like, they aren't the best songs, like, trust me, like, the mods I show are, like, way better than the actual game, but the game actually brings, like, the whole, like, everything in the mods together, like I said in, like, the third slide, it was, like, versus VTan, the story was boyfriend and girlfriend got sent into 4chan by Daddy Dearest. Like that was the whole story for that mod. And other mods like Cheeky was hired as an assassin by Daddy Dearest. Like all of these, mods are tied together with the base story. That's why the base story is so important to understand the mods. But I'll answer some questions now that Nova's asked.
Yeah.
What first attracted you to Friday Night Funkin? Basically, I saw it get popular on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool." Like, I tried Osu and other rhythm games before, and I was just horrible. Like, honestly, like I was like playing like a 3-year-old blind kid, and I just was not good. And I just kept playing. I don't know why. I guess it was just the appeal of a flashy. It just looked like a Flash game. That's why I loved it. It just looked classic, It's like when you play like the world's hardest game in Cool Math Games when you're like 5 and you pretend like you know old internet history. I don't know. It just made me feel nostalgic to something I never experienced, and I guess that's what felt good. And I just kept getting better as I played throughout the months. Which original story do you think is the best? Could you specify what you mean by like original story? Like which mod story or?
Ooh, there we go. I mean of the original weeks as opposed to any of the mods.
Oh, I really like the original story because these mods would make no sense otherwise. Like none of these mods would have ever happened without this story. It would just be like they could have happened, but there wouldn't really be any like meaning behind them. It would have just been Cheeky saw a boyfriend walking down the street and decided to hit him over the head with a baseball bat. Like that doesn't, like I don't know, like it wouldn't make sense without like an actual story, Because like some mods, it's like people are trying to win over girlfriend, like how Senpai was in week 6. Like a lot of the motives are pretty similar. Like Pico was a hired assassin, and so was Cheeky or a lot of other characters. And so I really like the original story because I think it brings together everything else. Do I like the story or do we just ignore it for the gameplay? In the moment, whenever I play the game, I don't care about the story per se. Like I'm just kind of playing it because fun rhythm game. But when I look back at a mod, I'm like, man, I really want to know the story, and it was like really interesting and stuff like the Cheeky mod because that tied into a really fun Roblox game called Mugen. It was some of these mods really intrigue me because the characters are interesting, or the gimmicks of a mod make me wonder. I wonder if there's like any any canonical reason behind this or that. Is it your first rhythm game? Is it your favorite? It is definitely my favorite rhythm game, but it is not my first. But it is the first one I've gotten into. There are a number of mods who look to expand the lore, but most seem sort of fanficky. Are there any that try to continue the story directly, and do you like them more or less than the randomly inserted characters? I like the mods that are kind of fanficky, but a lot of them have gotten taken down for really, really bad misconduct with minors, and I do not. So that's why, like, a lot of these fanfic mods end up really, really like with horrible creators. So, I like the story for some of these, but I don't like what the people behind them because they end up doing really bad things. And they don't really expand on the lore. Really, they just kind of continue on one character, and they never really expand on the other characters, like growing throughout like the story arc of the game, like of their mod. Like throughout the Cheeky mod, you see how Cheeky kind of progressively grows more annoyed and irate. Like his character grows in like a negative arc because as boyfriend kind of like just kind of pretty much just annoys him. Or other mods I've seen, you see boyfriend kind of retaliating as he was just trying to sing, but then someone kept fighting him physically instead of like with a battle. It's hard to explain, but yeah, these fanficky mods are like, I don't really like them. They're kind of like the same thing every time. It's like a copy paste of the story. But they're ones that I do know that try to continue like the story, like as in they continue like the story of their mod. I'd say that Cheeky mod does a very good job because they started off with 1 week, now they added 2 weeks, and now they added that versus Bob week, and that really expanded upon like the mod's lore. Like that was a really good example. Or I'm trying to think what other mod has had a lot of updates. I won't name that one. I'd say one of them was Dusttail, because it hasn't really, it's only been made like, you know, once, but then it only has 1 week, and they really only made it once. But Dusttail is you know, it's this Undertale alternate universe, but for like an FNF mod, they really did well expanding upon like the character and the story behind it, and it was fun. And with the directly like just inserted, like randomly put in the game with like no lore or whatever, most of those characters, they will have lore later on. Like a good example was the Versus Tricky mod that I have yet to record. It was just at first it was just a random like demo of it was just randomly inserted 2 songs versus Tricky from Madness Combat, and everyone was like, well, what's the story behind this or whatever, and like there was really nothing. But once the mod fully came out, is that like that's when like they had lore, and I've yet to really seen a mod where it's just randomly inserted. Like they end up randomly inserted, but they start off like that, but then they end up being like a full like expanded mod, you know. So I can't really say that I like any more or less of those types of characters, because they always have something to expand upon whenever a mod updates. Now my favorite mod, I'm gonna have to look through my folder real quick because there's a lot of good ones. I'd say honestly, the Versus Cheeky mod is my favorite mod, because I just like the correlations. You know, I just like the correlations with the actual Mugen lore, and it was really creative. Like they've done stuff that hasn't really been done in other mod settings. You know, like they're really innovative. Now they weren't like the most advanced mod, like V-Tan did crazy stuff like with their cutscenes and gimmicks or whatever, but I feel like the Cheeky mod, given what they had, they made a really good story. And it's something that you could look at for hours. Like not even just like not the Friday Night Funkin one, but how they attach the Mugen lore to the Friday Night Funkin Cheeky lore. It's like you can kind of look at it for hours. Now originally there was going to be a Mugen Friday Night Funkin mod, like an entire mod for the Mugen, like the other characters besides Cheeky that are in that universe. But due to drama, they couldn't release it. Now it's just going to be stuck as a demo forever, sadly. Which of the original story do you think has the best songs? Definitely week 4 versus the Mommy Nearest, because well, actually I'm going to change my answer to week 2 versus Skin and Pump. I love Spooky. That's my favorite song in the original soundtrack. Like I don't know, I really loved the theme. Like yeah, I don't know, it just had something about it I really liked. So I'd say that had the best song, and even then the songs after it were pretty cool. Which original characters do you think you like the most? Thematic, can you explain that word?
Thematically, as far as design is concerned, as far as like how their aesthetic matches the music, their character, etc.
Oh, okay, I'd say aesthetically, here, I'll even go back in the slideshow so you can see. I'd say they did really good with Mommy Nearest. Like aesthetically, she fits the background, the song, and the and her story. So I'd say like yeah, they did a really good job designing for this, and the songs fit the name for her. Yeah, like I'd say thematically, I like her the most, but off of like personal. But if I were to go say like personally, I really like these two, but that's just kind of biased because they have an entire like YouTube series about them. But yeah, no, I think they did an amazing job with Mommy Nearest. Story-wise, thematically, yeah. The songs were very techno and bleepy, which makes sense since the vocals are very, very blue. Are you just saying, okay. Are you just putting L after like, okay, are very bleepy themselves, but do you think there's room for other genres? What other genres would you like to see? Now, there actually has been done in the base Friday Night Funkin' game. I mentioned you go against Monster. He actually has lyrics. He's the only base FNF character to have lyrics. Like, when he hits notes, it's actually him singing. But it's very gruesome and dark, so... I guess flying skin or whatever, like, I don't know, it's just... Yeah, no, like his music is kind of decrepit sounding. Like I guess that's the vibe for his character, and so yeah, like not all songs are like fast-paced techno. Like his ones are really like Winter Wonderland was probably the best monster song out of the two that they have so far, and it was kind of like a new genre. But other than that, what other genres? I'm not too well versed in the world of music. Like I just kind of listen to whatever sounds good. Most of the time, that's Friday Night Funkin songs. But in terms of genres, I don't know, like more slow-paced classical stuff, or just like I don't know, like just stuff that kind of strays away from the techno beat because I think that like really attract a lot of new players, and I think that would be really good for the game or other modders. It'd be unique and different, and when people make these mods, they try and make it as unique and different. Every mod kind of crossing a new line with how like good they get, If you were an FNF modder, which characters do you think you'd like to add? So if I was an FNF modder and I wanted to make a mod, I would rather make a mod for my own persona, as cringy as that sounds, because I know a lot of furries have been doing it. But other than that, I think for like an actual mod, the only thing I really like gone ahead and considered was literally making Furry Valley versus Simba mod. I don't know, I just thought that'd be cool, and I feel like it'd be good, I guess, to expand the community to play this game, I just thought I thought it was a cool idea. I even talked to Nova about it. But yeah, adding like a versus Simba, thought that would be something fun. Would you say there are many misconceptions about the game about the game people have that you'd like to address? Is the age range? This game is rated like, I'd say you have to be like 15 or up to play this game, or even 16 or up. And I'm not even 16, but I'm just saying 16 or up to play this game. And it's kind of like there's a lot of mature content on this game and a lot of innuendos that a lot of people seem to miss out on. But because it looks like, oh, fun, flashy, kid-friendly game, like, I don't know, let me see, like, look at this, like, this just looks like something you'd see on, like, YouTube Kids, like, this doesn't look inherently bad or awful. But, like, you go here and, like, okay, not as good, and then you go here and you're like, oh. Is that the thing is that people, just because it looks kid-friendly doesn't mean it is kid-friendly, and people have made very, like, so a furry retrospector, he's a very good, he made a lot of good remixes of Friday Night Funkin' songs, and he has this demon persona, and he has this moth persona as well, and the moth persona is a very weirdly made, it's weirdly made, I'll say that, to a way where people are like, no miner should ever see this, and yeah, that's right, no miner like really should be exposed to that. But the thing is that he made that knowing that like this game isn't really made for people that are like, oh my god, this is horrid or atrocious. Is that he made this game knowing that this is supposed to be for like a more mature audience, and I think he's been kind of under fire for that, and that kind of sucks to see because he was not in the wrong there. And yeah, that's the biggest misconception, is that just because it looks kid-friendly doesn't mean it is kid-friendly. And so yeah, I'd say that is the biggest one. And I think another misconception is about I think it's about the creators of the game, because a lot of mod creators will get really bad, like really big. Like they'll get really big, making like, I don't know, like a mod that gets 10,000 downloads, and despite making like huge like mod downloads, they think that they're like kind of on top of the world. I'll say, like, a lot of mod creators have done a lot of really like law-breaking stuff, like it seems like all the popular ones seem to get big. So I'm just saying, just because you love a mod creator, don't think of them perfect, because during Christmas, some dude was exposed for doing something really horrible, like it was atrocious, and his mod got kind of like his mod got nuked off of any page that had it, and he was kind of kicked off Twitter, and it's good because people like him really should not be around. And yeah, just like people seem to misconceptualize the fact that not all mod creators are perfect, like not all mod creators are gonna, like they're not gonna be a saint, And given the type of community Friday Night Funkin' is, there's a lot of toxic parts, but there's also a lot of good parts. And mod creators should not like. The mod creators are very good people. Well, most of them can be like really good people, you know, and a lot of them they work really hard. But no matter how hard you work, if you do something messed up, you did something messed up, you know. Can you say a little more about Mugen that you mentioned? Mugen is a Roblox group that made a Roblox game called Mugen, and I don't know too much about them per se because there's so much about it that I can't really go. I don't have the time to look into that, but I know is that like Cheeky, like I know that like all the characters seem to be Hungarian, like they speak Hungary, or I think they're like Indonesian. I don't know, but there's some other country or whatever. And the Cheeky is actually just like a nickname. Like I think his name was like, I think his translated to English name was like Devil's Leprechaun or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's because he's cheeky. Because throughout the game, he kind of like Cheeky kind of tricks you into doing stuff for him, and like in the beginning, he tricks you into jumping into a painting. Like think of it like N64 Mario. You jump into a painting, you go into another world. That's basically what Mugen is like. Is that you go painting to painting, and I guess do things for Cheeky despite him just doing it to work against you. Pretty much. That's the extent of what I know. What other than games have you played? Like I've mentioned, I have played Osu about 3 times, and then I stopped. But then other than that, I've played Roblox Friday Night Funkin', if that can be considered like a separate thing, even though it's same songs and all that. Have you explored or discovered any new media as a result of the characters introduced by the mods? Have you liked them as a rule? Can you elaborate on like them as a rule?
I just mean generally. Have you ever seen a mod that made you go, oh, I want to see what this guy is from, and then, you know, you check it out and have you liked it?
I think, actually, yeah, no, that's exactly how that's exactly how I saw Mugen. Is that, yeah, I saw the Cheeky mod, I loved it, I'm like, where is it from? I looked at the wiki, and it brought me to a Mugen wiki, and oh my god, this is insane, and I loved it, like, I like the character a lot, and the songs, the vocals, it was really fitting, in my opinion, and I really liked it, so, yeah, new media I've been introduced to is a lot of, I've just been introduced to most of the mods that you see on the channel, I have been introduced to from just media alone. Like, I never would have found, like, Versus Flippy if I haven't just been on YouTube, like, looking randomly. Like, that's where all the media of new mods come from, and that's how I kind of find it. And a lot of them I've liked, and I've even discovered more about. Like, I never would have binged watched Happy Tree Friends if I've never seen the Versus Flippy mod. It sounds bad for someone my age, but I never would have done that. Or Madness Combat, I never would have binge watched like a flash, like a little Flash series that's literally older than me if I've never just seen the Friday Night Funkin' Tricky mod, you know? It's very cool how, like, these mods introduce a lot of old culture, like old internet culture that a lot of people, like, it brings it to like a younger audience, so like all that stuff doesn't die out. The FNF fandom has a weird amount of drama for a mod-driven community. Why do you think the drama is so prevalent in the community? It's because of people simping, really. Like, a mod creator, like, okay, so the most classical Friday Night Funkin' mod versus Witty, it was like the first Friday Night Funkin' mod that really, like, it was the first time any FNF had cutscenes in it, because this was prior to week 7, when you know, the base game had cutscenes. Like, this FNF mod did cutscenes, and pretty much it was an amazing mod. Like, everyone loved it, but the thing was is that it got deleted because the creator just couldn't handle all the drama. Like, people were like, an FNF mod took a motif, like, literally one song from another FNF mod made weeks later, like months later, took a single motif from you know, from the Versus Witty mod, and everyone blew up about it, and they said, I'm gonna close Versus Witty until you guys stop this drama and apologize to the creators of Versus Tabby. It was just a motive, don't cry about it. And people got even more upset with this, and then he just deleted the mod entirely and left the community. A lot of modders have been driven away from just relentless just the horrific acts against, just like always up to defense. It's kind of like when someone insults your favorite YouTuber, like, stands always go after. But one of the worst things I've seen was, a satirical account called, it was like a satirical TikTok account called at BF's Wife Forever, and it was supposed to be some fangirl like over boyfriend's character, like I guess someone simping over the character, and they made their own character called Sky. And this one modder, BB Panzu, who made Versus Sunday, I remember uploading that. BB Panzu made a mod for Sky. It was a really good mod, like for the time it was made just by one person, it was pretty cool. But he had to take it down and post a sorry, because in the mod Sky was like 14, but the Sky, the character, like the official age of the character, was 19. And the thing was, he mistaken it for 14 because that was the age of the person that created the character. But the person who made it said it was 19. And the issue with that was after her mod got released, a lot of no artists on 34 made a lot of messed up art. And the thing was that the character was a minor in the mod. And then after all of that bad art was made, people started bullying her and calling her, like, I guess, stupid or whatever, because for sipping over like a video game character, despite the fact it was a satirical account made by a 14-year-old girl. And so she deleted her socials and just left. And BB Pansy felt horrible, like he had to take down, he took down the mod on his accord. He cleared it up and saying it was his bad, and he's really kind of disappointed. But yeah, it's kind of horrible that the prevalent drama in the community has caused a lot of people to be harassed in such a way that it's just kind of has FNF inspired you to improve or explore your skills in any way? Like, has it made you want to learn to code or make music? Yeah, it actually has made me want to learn to make music and a bit of coding, but I really only learned coding because I was making stuff for Minecraft. But to make music, yeah, I really, really want to make FNF, music, mods for music for mods or whatever. Just I don't have that, I just don't really have the materials to expand upon that. I want to get FL12 Studio, Do you expect to see FNF spin-offs be them higher budget games or commercialized TV shows? Do you want to see them? I mean, at that point, anything that's considered an FNF spin-off is really just considered a mod, really. I have yet to really see any FNF spin-off, so I'm not too sure what I'll expect there, but to be higher budget, yes, there's, the FNF rhythm engine is kind of atrocious. If you were to try and play on the old FNF engine, just for the base game, it was absolutely horrible to try and play on. You would hit something and it just wouldn't register. But yeah, a lot of mods have been made way higher budget, like 20 times the quality of the base game. That's why I mainly upload the mods instead of the base game, because I'll have some super high quality amazing mod one day, and the next day you'll just have just singing for 3 songs straight with no dialogue and nothing really cool besides my editing. I mean, even then, the editing can only make someone really care about something for so long, and I don't even think it's that good. So, for commercialized TV shows, I don't expect that, because FNF is an open source, game that you can download from the browser or literally just play on the browser. So I'm not really expecting that. And do I want to see them? It depends on who's making that, I don't want some company that I just want a company that'll if it was to happen, I'd want a company that could actually do it, but do it well. So I want to see them, but only see them if it's gonna be good. But other than that, I don't really care if I see it or not. How is a mod made? Does it involve programming, or is there a tool that people use? Have you made your own mod? So there's a lot of steps to a mod. You have someone that has to do the programming. They write down, if you want to add extra stuff like cutscenes or dialogue or events that happen midway through the song or whatever. You have to code that into the game, which I honestly I looked at it once and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. You know, like, or if you want to add gimmicks like, oh, hit this arrow and it'll make you lose all your health. You know, like a batter or whatever. Yeah, like, yeah, no, there's a lot of programming there. For charting like a song, you can just do that within the game. Like, you just like it makes a .json file, but the thing is that you can just kind of like go to any like you could just kind of make that like within the Friday Night Funkin engine. Like they have their like a in-game charter, and so that's nice. But you also have to get someone to make the art. You know, like because the game is animated on sprite sheets, so you have to get someone to make the art and then make kind of like make a file so that the sprite sheets work correctly, and then like you know have a programmer make sure that like the sprites like file through correctly, so it goes like one sprite to the next sprite to the third sprite or whatever. You also have to make someone to make the music and the vocals, and if it's a lot of the times if you like want to make vocals with your voice, it's going to be a bit hard to, depending on what you're aiming for and depending on what your vocal range is. And a lot of times people just say the vowels like into like a microphone and then they edit the vowels from there, or they just like make random sounds. Like if you were to look up the Friday Night Funkin' Cheeky mod, Tricky mod. Yeah, if you were to look up the Tricky mod's vocals, see just see the person that made the mod, like hear them just doing the vocal without any editing, you would like think, wow, this is stupid. Like, yeah, like they sound really weird at first, but then they sound amazing once you get to like the editing part. And then another thing that a lot of modders have to do is they have to like if you want to like it takes one thing to do the art, but it takes another thing to animate the cutscenes. So like you might have to get like a whole new person to animate all of that for you, and it's just it could be kind of a hassle. Let's see. Is there a repository where you can find mods that people have made? Game Banana and Game Jolt. Both of those, Game Jolt's a bit safer, but Game Banana has like way more of the mods. Yeah, you go to there, you can kind of search them up. But what I do is I search up. You could just search up Friday Night Funkin' on YouTube. You could probably see something made by GameCoin or whatever the name was. You know, the biggest Friday Night Funkin' review channel. And most of the time, if you find a mod that you like you just watched through it, you know, and you're like, oh, I like this mod, I want to play it. You can look in the description, and most of the time, in a video about like a mod, they'll put the actual mod that they played in the description so that people can check it out if they want to. So like, yeah, they just kind of credit it, and yeah, so like that's kind of my repository. But other than that, you can just go on Game Banana and search up whatever and like hope you find something. But most of the time on Game Banana, you're gonna find pretty bad stuff, and also on Game Jolt too. It's just, at least Game Jolt, you don't have the chance of downloading like 35 viruses. But other than that, I stick to YouTube because most YouTubers actually go over like the good mods, like mods that have effort put into them, and even like small mods that nobody hears about, you know, that has a lot of effort going into them, like, you know, YouTubers will usually play. The official does have to do a lot of work to get new canon chapters added, while there's hundreds of FNF modders. Do you think the modded chapters will be more important, less popular in the future once the next updates are added? No, they won't be. Yeah, it's a small team working on an entire story and game, and it doesn't matter what you do, you can't add more like unique story. Like, you can only go through the same trope of Daddy Dearest did that, or Mommy Nearest did this, or, you know, like you just can't really do much, you know, like until they add future chapters, and they will, you know, become more popular, but they won't become more important, you know. And even then, when a new chapter is released, everyone is going crazy. It's like a New Year's ball drop. Like in April of last year, when week 7 came out, everyone was freaking out. Like, it was mayhem. Like, if you wanted to search Friday Night Funkin', there'd be nothing but that mod, like that new week coming out. So yeah, when future updates are added, it'll be popular for about like a week or two or something. But after that, like other mods will come back to normal, and maybe even new storylines with, like, you know, that kind of convert with the new week. So yeah, that's always cool, but I don't think it'll ever be more important, you know? What characters are you surprised haven't been featured in a mod yet? It's kind of tough to say, because I can't say that, like, oh, this character hasn't been in a mod yet, but someone's probably done it. Like, I know for a fact people have made Dead by Daylight mods, but they've just been kind of reskins. Like, they never actually changed the vocals or music, or all they do is just change the background and the characters singing. Like, yeah, they did a Dead by Daylight, like, FNF mod, which I thought was cool. They also, they did a versus Tord mod from Eddsworld, and they also did other Eddsworld mods, but they were kind of just like, you know, they had like a good story, whatever, you know, that kind of fit. But the issue was that the people didn't really put much effort into it to where like it was worth YouTubers reviewing. So I guess like any character I could say, they probably had like, it's like, you know, the rule of the internet is that if it exists, there was an FNF mod about it. So I can't really say that, but surprised to, you know, be a big mod, I'd say probably like any Eddsworld mods, any mods for like any Eddsworld or Twitter mods, because I mean I've seen some people make mods about Twitter, just like the mascot or whatever, or even like with Discord mascots or whatever. But none of them have really picked up. You mentioned FNF as an open sourced. Are there forks of the game that are there forks of the game that people have made, like Thursday Night Funkin made that up or something? It seems like a lot of work goes into developing the game. Are the official developers funded through Kickstarter donations or otherwise? The developers, rather you okay. Oh, those are two separate questions. You mentioned FNF is open source. Are there forks in the game that people... Okay, the forks of the game that people have made. I don't know why it's hard for me to read. I'm bad at reading. Like Thursday Night Funkin' or something. Yeah, people have, like, there's one mod where they completely, like, reskin the game. The thing is that they change the vocals, they change the characters, they change the background, and they give it a whole different story. Like, Salty's Sunday Night. That was... You know, because the character, like you play as a character called Salty, who gets, I guess he spills coffee on Daddy Dearest, and then Daddy Dearest transports him into an arcade game, and like there's like a whole separate, you know, story, and it's like amazing. Like it has the amount of content as, you know, a base FNF game, but everything is like redid. Like you have like week 1 through whatever, and like. Yeah, like the beauty about like making an entire like mod where you just reskin the characters, but you change the music, is that if you reskin the base game, you're pretty much changing the entire lore and making your own thing, versus making a mod that is just kind of like, oh, we're making a mod about this one character, versus like making a mod about like an OC. Like if you make your own alternate universe, like the thing with like reskins of the base game, it's like an alternate universe really. So yeah, you have Salty Sunday Night, Monday Morning Misery. I think that's relatable for everyone. It seems like a lot of work goes into developing the game. Are the official developers funded through Kickstarter donations or otherwise? Yes, they did a fundraiser for $1 million, and each like milestone they'd add like they kind of add like something like, oh, we'll add like a new week for for this milestone, we'll add in like a different playable character other than boyfriend. At this milestone, like we'll do this, and this. Yeah, that was $1 million there was $1 million fundraiser, and they reached it within like 3 days or something. You know, for like a college student, like for college students in a dorm, I'd probably say that's impressive. If people stole their mods, is that allowed? Might have missed the answers. I actually don't know. Like, I know people have given, and this is only because of drama, but I know people have given up their characters or their mods to someone that'll be more responsible, like, online, like, with their online presence. But other than that, I actually don't know if anyone has, like, actually sold it for money. Like, I know that there've been, like, transactions of, like, okay, I'm gonna just give you the character and, like, the mod, but I don't know if, like, anyone actually paid for a mod. Have you considered peripheral based rhythm games, Dance Dance Revolution, Guitar Hero, etc. Yes, I really want to do. Ever since I've seen Versus Cappy, I've always wanted to do Dance Dance Revolution. Like that was a great mod, like a great short mod, you know. And I loved it a lot. And seeing that, I'm like, man, I kind of want to do DDR, especially since some of the songs in that mod were actually like remixes of DDR charts. And even cooler was that some of those remixes of DDR charts were remixes of Beethoven songs. Rock band. I'm not a good singer, despite what people say. What would you expect to see if they ever made it an FNF2? I don't know if that actually even happened, because like they're just gonna add weeks, you know. Like I mean, they might get to a point like, okay, story's closing here, but I don't know. Like the beauty of Friday Night Funkin' is that it expands however long the developers kind of want it to, because there's nothing stopping them from just, oh, we'll add another week, you know. Like it's not like it's like some DLC like thing that like ends, that, you know, gives you closure on the story. It's just kind of week after week. But if they were to make a Friday Night Funkin' 2, I'd probably expect more growth on the characters. Like instead of just adding new characters again and again, I'd probably see them just mainly focus on reoccurring the characters, or improving the engine, or improving the base engine since it's crap, or just focus on the story, improving the engine, improving like designs, you know, like maybe change up some designs, since it's gonna be like, you know, after like the base game, it's gonna be like, you know, V2, you know. Hopefully like the characters change in some way, like I don't know, boyfriend like loses a hat, he's like wearing like a sweater or something, like something cool that'll kind of like flip it on its head, since it's like this is like a new era. Because I've always kind of seen like if you like make a version 2 of a game, it's like a whole new era to that community, like a game. Which other consoles or platforms could you see FNF on? Actually, someone has made, like, it's not like amazingly well made, like it's not like perfect quality, but someone has actually made Friday Night Funkin' on the PS4 or on PS5, and you could actually play it, and it has all the same weeks and songs as, you know, the base game, just without any dialogue or whatever, and it's like 3D. But yeah, no, I've seen it on PS5, but I don't know if I'd really see it elsewhere, because the thing is, people have like made mobile apps, so I guess it's there, but it's not like official, and neither is the PS5. But if I were to see it added to a console, yeah, probably like Xbox or PS5. I don't know if they'd really do like a mobile adapter. Like, I don't know if they'd like adapt it to mobile though. Do you think the tuning, YouTube, TV aesthetic adds or detracts from the game? I think it adds, really. Like the only thing that really detracts is how the community views the like YouTube TV type of thing. Is that I feel like it adds, because it just adds to like the, oh, this is like a old, you know, this is supposed to look like an old Flash game, you know, because like the game takes place in the early 2000s, and you know, I feel like, yeah, like you look at like the Newgrounds, like if you look back at week 7, they never really had to change Tankman's like arts. Like when they drawing Tankman, they didn't really have to fit him into the art style like without too much change, really. So like it really kind of shows that they were basing it off of kind of old Flash, you know. Like they really I really think they hit the nail on the head with that one. Can you comment on a single player versus multiplayer style of gameplay? There actually has been a Friday Night Funkin' mod where you can connect to a server and play against people. Like, yeah, like there's literally versus people on Friday Night Funkin' where you vote on like what song you want to do, and like, yeah, you just kind of battle out against them, and whoever gets the highest score wins. But as for like base game, like adding it in, I don't really think I could see that anytime soon. Yes. one I really recommend is Whoops on Twitch or on YouTube. He's like a veteran at rhythm games. He's played like Beat Saber, Osu, Osumania. Like, yeah, he's really good at rhythm games, and he uploads a lot of Friday Night Funkin videos now, and it's fun to see his reviews on the mod. He kind of slowed down his uploads recently, but I'd say that he did a really good job kind of bringing FNF into the light. Like, it's really helped grow in his channel, and he was kind of like the I don't know, yeah, he did good. Another one, he's not as prevalent, but this one I have to like give it up for his editor, because he kind of, seeing how his editor edited the video kind of helped me come up with when it zooms in on a character, the arrows are gonna pop up on the side thing. Like, yeah, his editor kind of helped me with that. It was Quite, or like, you know, his second channel, Quote, KWOTE, but his main channel is Quite, and yeah, like, yeah, he not Quite, he streams like FNF on his Twitch, but he uploads it to his second channel where stream highlights go, and it's fun seeing him play. He's not like really good at the game, but I don't know, it's funny because he's kind of like a comedic YouTuber, so seeing him play it, he adds, like, you know, his humor to it, and I think that's really cool. And another YouTuber is Greg. Wait, I'm actually gonna have to look at this one. It was I think it was community games on YouTube. They that is like my holy grail of FNF mods. Like, if I want to look for something new to like upload or play, I go there. Yeah, like, I really like, that's probably like, because it's just silent comment, like it's just showcasing the mod, no talking, no like editing or whatever. It just shows the mod, and I really like that, because I could see if this mod is like worth showing without like any extra stuff. We've spoken before about it, and you've mentioned you struggle with the extended chart maps, particularly the 9 wide from the Shaggy mod. How do you improve at the game outside of just playing it over and over? Well, that's just kind of the thing. All I do is just kind of play it over and over. Like, I don't do some, like, I don't know, like redemption arc where like I go up to a mountaintop and train 9 key for like hours and days on end. So like, I don't know, I just don't like, honestly, the Shaggy mod, I beat that, but any other Shaggy mods, like where they've made 9 chart keys harder and harder, because there's been a lot of new Shaggy mods that kind of extend on the old one, I just don't play them, because like, I'm not good at 9 key, and I'm semi good at like 6 key, but other than that, it's like, it's just not worth my time to like try and like do it, because I don't know, like, there's a lot of other mods that I could be playing that I find way more fun and like cool than just the same thing copy and pasted, because at the end of the day, oh, Shaggy mod, strong, powerful person that looks like he's made out of sticks, you know? So I might as well just stick to what I'm doing.